battle over the border with the Biden administration. The Republican governor has signed a law that allows local and state law enforcement to arrest migrants they suspect crossed into the country illegally. ABC's Maria Villarreal is in Fort Worth, Texas, with the latest on that. Maria, this law is set to take effect in March. So how does it work?
You know, basically, it's kind of what you said right now, which it gives local law enforcement the ability to arrest and detain people they believe crossed into the country illegally. And then it tacks on some pretty hefty consequences if they are found to have been here in the U.S. illegally. It also allows judges to deport some of these migrants back to Mexico if they see fit. You know, but Diane, there's a lot of confusion when it comes to how exactly this will all work. I mean, really it comes down to the funding, right? Will local law enforcement have the capabilities to actually now become, you know, border agents on top of all the other duties they have in their own jurisdiction? So there is some concern from local law enforcement. How will this be enforced? And then where will you put these migrants once they are detained? You know, previously we saw that the state was actually working with local jails that had been closed down. They reopened those in order to bring them in. And obviously local counties and jurisdictions were being given money and funding to have that, you know, overtime for the people that were working on this. But there's no plan in place just yet. I think over the next 3 months, you know, the state, the governor's office, they will work diligently to try and figure out how to implement this, but still a lot of questions on the ground.
Now, when signing this bill, Maria, Governor Abbott said Texas needs to defend itself from drug cartels and accused President Biden of, quote, deliberate inaction. How's the White House responding to that?
You know, I think the White House has been subdued, right, in what they or how they want to engage the governor. I mean, they have been obviously having to respond to him over the last few years as we've seen him bus migrants all over the country and then obviously call out the Biden administration for not doing enough along the border. That's exactly what we heard a little bit last night. A statement was released. They did weigh in on this, basically saying it's the federal government's rights and responsibility to decide who stays and who goes and what sort of immigration laws are implemented and for that matter, you know, enforced in our country. But they didn't really go into detail. They didn't call out Governor Abbott. They kind of kept it pretty short and sweet. And really, we don't see what their next step will be. However, we do know that Democrats out of Washington, D.C. are now asking the Department of Justice to step in and investigate this law, what the consequences of it could be. So we do see a little bit of movement there, just not exactly from the White House or the administration.
Now, a similar law in Arizona was rejected by the Supreme Court in 2012. So what kind of legal challenges could this law face?
Absolutely, no doubt about it. We will see lawsuits filed very soon, I would assume. I mean, here's the thing. We have immigration rights advocates like the Texas Civil Rights Project, also the ACLU, basically saying this is, you know, we are encouraging racial profiling by having SB 4 in place. And then on top of that, by immediately deporting them, we're not allowing migrants to request asylum, which is their right as they come into this country. So I think we're going to see this play out in court once again, very similar to what we saw with the buoys, you know, in the Rio Grande River that were put in place by Governor Abbott and his, you know, and his administration. So I don't see this obviously going into place very soon, but we will definitely, this isn't the last that we've heard of it, right? We're going to continue to hear updates as this moves through the court system.
All right, ABC's Maria Villarreal in Fort Worth, Texas. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.